I wouldn't be doing what I'm lucky enough to do for a living without Mario games. Heck, I'm not even sure I'd be playing video games if not for Mario. Yeah! And so, when I reviewed Super Mario Odyssey for IGN in 2017, it checked off a career bucket list item for me. And oh, how lucky I was that Odyssey turned out to be, and still very much is, one of the greatest platformers ever made. It was worth the long wait, as, in case you're too young to remember, which would be perfectly understandable at this point, the last mainline 3D Mario game before Odyssey was Super Mario Galaxy 2 all the way back in 2010. Yeah. Yes, it was 7 long years between headlining 3D entries in Nintendo's biggest franchise, but fast forward to 2026, and we've already surpassed 8 years as we continue to wait for Odyssey's 3D Mario successor. I thought for sure last fall was going to be when it finally happened, as what better way for Nintendo to have celebrated the 40th anniversary of the original Super Mario Bros. Than with the next mainline 3D Mario game, cementing the Switch 2 as the must-have device for its first Christmas, just as Odyssey did for the Switch 1's first holiday on the market back in 2017. But that big anniversary came and went with nothing more than a questionably priced 4K remaster of Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. However, I think the wait for the true next-gen mainline 3D Mario game is finally almost over. Let me run through the reasons. First and foremost, and this is 90% of my argument, is that Nintendo has essentially fired every other bullet bill in its chamber in recent years. What big mega franchise moves do they have left for this year? A mainline 2D Mario game? Well, we just got that in fall of 2023 in the form of the absolutely sensational Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Mario Kart?
Let's go!
After its own incredibly long hiatus, it was, as you all know, the Switch 2's big day one launch title. How about 3D Zelda? Tears of the Kingdom was just 2.5 short years ago, after we waited 6 years for it following Breath of the Wild. That means we won't see Aonuma's next effort for at least a few more years. What about 2D Zelda? Echoes of Wisdom was in fall of 2024, and though this year is the 40th anniversary of Zelda, last year's 40th anniversary of Mario suggests that you should probably set your expectation to, at best, a 4K remaster of Twilight Princess or Wind Waker. There's Donkey Kong Bonanza, which just dropped in the Switch 2's launch window and is arguably the system's best game so far. Super Mario Party Jamboree just released in 2024. Animal Crossing just got a Switch 2 update, making it fairly unlikely that we'll see an all-new game in that franchise anytime soon. Super Smash Bros. Well, barring a miracle, it's retired due to its director leaving it all on the field, in his own words, with Ultimate. Is Splatoon big enough to really move the needle? Maybe, maybe not. Pokémon is really Nintendo's best non-Mario bet, but we just had Legend Z to A last fall. Shall I keep going? The last of Nintendo's big three, Metroid, has shipped a 2D game, Dread, in 2021, and a 3D game, Prime 4, barely a month ago, in recent years. And anyway, Nintendo itself admits that Prime 4 wasn't it. An unnamed senior source revealed to The Game Business that Switch 2 sales fell behind the pace of the Switch 1 in key markets this past holiday, in large part due to the, quote, absence of a major Western game. Ouch, that is some serious Metroid Prime 4 slander. But back on topic. What would fit the definition of a major Western game for Nintendo that hasn't already shipped in recent years? How about the next major 3D Mario game, which isn't just a major Western game, but a major global game? Odyssey sold nearly 30 million copies, an absolutely staggering amount that could easily be replicated over the life of the Switch 2 if Nintendo delivers it this fall, or perhaps even sooner?
You wanted to see us?
Don't move, I'll be right up.
That brings me to reason number 2, the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's the highest grossing video game movie ever, raking in over $1.3 billion at the box office. Its sequel, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, is set to debut in theaters on April 3rd. What better way to capitalize on what's likely to be another massive Hollywood hit for Nintendo than to feed those moviegoers enthusiasm with the next big 3D Mario entry, one that, as we've already established, can easily sell another 25 million copies, which, by the way, given the likely $80 price point for the next 3D Mario game, would mean $2 billion in revenue, besting the box office take of the first film, and likely the second, not to mention a whole bunch of Switch 2s. Ultimately, though Nintendo is tough to reliably predict, because honestly, I would have bet money and lost on the next big 3D Mario game arriving last fall for Switch 2's first holiday and Mario's 40th anniversary, the planets do seem to be aligning for Mario's next major 3D platformer to arrive sometime this year. If I'm wrong and Odyssey's successor debuts in 2027, or yikes, later, it means we'll be going at least a full decade since the last mainline Mario, which basically means Nintendo's just torturing us. But whenever it's finally confirmed, the next question is, of course, what is it? Is it Super Mario Odyssey 2 or an entirely new adventure? Based on Mario's history, I would hope for and expect the latter. In Mario's 3D era, Nintendo has only ever done one sequel in the form of Galaxy 2, or 2 if you want to count 3D World as a sequel to 3D Land. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For now, beggars can't be choosers. We can only hope that 2026 is finally going to be the year. I think it is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to start replaying Odyssey again, just to experience the sheer joy of New Donk City one more time. For all things Nintendo, you're already in the right place. Keep it right here at IGN.